All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the agenda objectives for the week of March 2nd. So, like always, we're starting with a summative assessment on Tuesday, one attempt. If you look at this week, we are finishing up with chapter 8. And so we have some material on there from earlier sections 1, 2, 3, but the bulk of it comes from sections 4 and 5, which were our previous week's work. There are 21 questions, but because some of the questions ask us to find more than one part of the triangle, you can see that it is worth 32 points. I do have a timer set on there at 90 minutes. I would anticipate that it takes most people about 45 minutes, maybe 30 to 45 minutes. This gives you a lot of buffer room. Once again, March 2nd is when it is due, and we must have it due submitted by 6 p.m. like normal. As you're doing your assessment, your summative assessment, the directions will tell you that you need to number your paper with a problem number and write down all work in a neat and legible manner. And then when you are finished with your test, you will need to submit your work here. Okay, so you're doing two things for the summative assessment. You're completing this part of it right here on Canvas. And while you're doing that, you are just writing down your work on your paper, keeping it neat and organized and numbered so I can reference it as I need to, and submitting the work here. So you might see that that is worth 0 points. It's just because I need the work to verify what you have done up here. Okay? If anytime, like, you get into the test and there is an issue, something looks incorrect to you, whatever the case may be, please Canvas message me immediately so that I can assist you with that. But do keep in mind that I keep school hours, so I am online from 8:45 to 3:45. And so if you choose to do your work after that, I may not immediately be available to answer those questions for you. I don't foresee there being any questions, but just sometimes there's some, technology issues or something that we need to go through. But please let me know if something like that does occur. All right, for this week, we are starting into chapter 10. So our objective is that we are building background vocabulary and knowledge. And you can see that what we have here are 3 videos that all deal with sections 10.1 and 10.2. These are your very important vocabulary words going forward. Part of your assignment this week is to spend time making sure that you have these memorized, that they are part of your vocabulary. This is something that, will I be able immediately to know that you have spent time on this? Probably not. Will in the long term I know that you have spent time on this? Yes, absolutely, because you will not have to go back and find vocabulary and figure out what we're talking about before starting the problem. So what will happen is that if we don't build this foundation, it may possibly snowball, and then we might become frustrated because we don't know what's coming next. So please take the time to do this. The second part of this is the chapter 10 foldable. Remember that the chapter 10 foldable comes before your chapter 10 notes in your workbook. And Miss Bass is going to go through 9 important things that you must mark first on your circles, or must look for first when we're dealing with our circles. That's the second part of what you must know before beginning any assignment. Okay, so the vocabulary that comes in these 3, and by vocabulary I mean the terminology, the pictures, the markings, all of those things, key to moving forward. In addition, this video here. I go through some suggestions and suggest making some flashcards and give you some tips on how to practice that. When you look at our assignment here, the beginning part of it is a video of me talking, telling you what you need to know from this information up here. And then it tells you that there is a small assignment. I will tell you that if you try to go to the small assignment first, without really spending some time in practicing this, you may become a little frustrated because you haven't learned that background knowledge that you need to be able to continue on with that assignment. Okay. Next week's summative assessment will be assessing how well you have this committed to memory. Okay. So if you aren't able to retrieve it quickly, then we might run into some troubles with that. So please take your time to practice those things. Okay. Keep in mind that Zoom sessions, I have no special meetings, so I don't have to move anything. So 2 o'clock on March 3rd, March 4th, and March 8th. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great week.